version was the American one. I do the Kenyan one. Good evening and welcome to TTTT at the Trend Live on Twitter. My name is Amina Abdirabab. Before we find out the stories that trended or get to meet our panelists tonight, just a bit of information, misinformation, and how I feel like every time I watch the news, right? So this is how it sort of looks like. Every time I just read, and these are the facts that I sort of have. These are mine. Now, it's been over 40 days since the first case of COVID-19 was noticed here in Kenya. And now there's so many of us who are still taking things lightly. Kindly note that the virus is very dangerous, okay? So now it infects anyone with or without a mask. Also those wearing a mask, avoid touching your face. Not only your face, but how about also the faces of those that you love? You can just say I love you without licking each other's faces off. Good God, wacha nini na shingo za watu? My gosh. Now those who want to go for dunda, well, will not be affected by the virus unless they attend those parties, which they shouldn't, because it's up to them or not to go, but they shouldn't or should, whatever. Now shaking hands, not allowed, ata kidogo. Even if you're shaking hands with yourself, because you don't know which hand has a virus, which one doesn't. So now those who also don't want to stay at home can be infected, guys. Also those who are still at home, you can be infected if you allow strangers in and out of your homes. Kama unakuanga na front seat ya team afisi uko mbele, butita na kuona, unakuanga uko team leader, I see you. You cannot wait for this period to end. Listen, safer days are soon coming to us. Now, meetings should be online unless you have a problem with your Wi-Fi or your wife or data bundles. That is when you're allowed to skip the meetings and, of course, blame it on corona. Hiyo inakubalika. Kila mtu anaelewa. Now, the virus affects those who've paid rent, those who've not paid rent, even those with their own homes who've not been spared. Poleni sana. This is because the virus does not knock your door. It gets in with you or with someone else or by itself, because Cardi B said it's on tour. Corona na mambo. Now, it's also come to attention that kuna wadau wanajifungia kwa bar after curfew hours, yani masaa ya mutudho na masaa ya matiangi zinagongana. Just note you are looking, or rather unafunga mlango tu kwa polisi, because they, you know, the police will not know and then they'll not enter. This makes it easy for the virus to spread without interference. But don't lock the door of opportunity. That one, leave it open during the day. Sanitize your hands, tafadhali, and use sanitizers for the intended purposes only. No monkey business ndenga nimekuambia in private and now in public. When the media tells you what to do and what not to do, well, you can go ahead and ignore them, because you would rather contract the virus, the deadly virus, than listen to us, Githeri Media. So we begin our show. Hashtag TTTT at the Trend Live. This is what's been happening tonight and this week. Train rams into commuter matatu at Mutindwa level crossing, but no one was injured, thank God. Eko Dydda forced to quarantine after failing to beat the curfew time. Was it necessary? We'll find out what the panelists have to say. Ethic Entertainment forced to apologize after releasing derogatory songs. Stick around for more. These guys. You know that song for This Is America, This Is Kenya. 4 guys are captured on camera escaping from quarantine, a quarantine facility at KMTC. How daring are they? All right, so now we're about to meet our panelists. Keep the conversation going, okay, online. We're going to read as many messages as we can tonight. And tonight's show is brought to you by this incredible phone, the Oppo Reno 3, which is a phone I want. So tafadhali client, nakuomba wewe na wale wote, whoever it may concern, please, I need this phone. Now, it has a 44 megapixel ultra high pixel selfie camera. Okay, this selfie camera, by the way, has the function of a flagship camera phone. That is the 44 megapixel selfie camera. It has this incredible feature that I love called a bokeh, right? So now it has, I know you've seen this when you take pictures on the back camera, it blurs everyone out. But now this one, a revolution that now has been televised. The Oppo Reno 3, when you take that selfie camera, when you take that selfie rather, then now you can blur people. people. You can blur people out. Huyo sponsor utaki aonekane, ule chali mwenye ana insist tu post huyo maheras wale watu wenye wanafanya picha yake vibaya unaweza wa blur out, okay? I like it. It comes in 2 different colors. I look smoother on this picture than I've ever looked in my life. It's a really great phone. You have to get it for yourself. The hashtag, of course, you can join them online, is the Oppo Reno 3 or hashtag clear in every shot. We'll talk more about the phone. But right now, let's meet our panelists tonight. The newest mom in town, Cindy, checks in. And we have Daddy Mato, Zaddy. Hey, guys.
Hey!
Hello.
How
are you?
So good. Cindy, how are all the 18 kids that you have?
Oh my gosh. I feel like Mama Abraham.
Cindy, your life does not reflect our economy. Mato, how are you?
Mimi niko fiti, niko chonjo, nashukuru Mwenyezi. Tumeona siku nyingine.
Hiyo ni poa sana. Kuna watu wengine sijui kama wanashukuru Mungu ama wako too daring, sielewi. On the 21st of this month, that was earlier this week, just a day after 420, important information. 4 people made a daring escape at Kenya Medical Training College by jumping over the wall. They had enough time to pack their belongings. And I bet they bathed. They also had time to bid their friends goodbye. Unajua lazima, of course, connect DMs, check in. The daring thing that got me shook, as in shocked, as in awe, is their daring escape during the day. Why would you escape with all that sun? So take a look. You can see the clip there. I just felt like they could have tried a different part at the time of the day. I don't know. But anyway, Mato, what are your thoughts?
First of all, sijui kwa nini unasema after 420, yet the whole of this month is 420.
That I don't even know what that means. Tell our viewers.
Yeah, it is April of 2020.
Okay.
So ukiandika date, si unaweza anza na date, month, alafu 2020.
That's true.
So like today is 24 420.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 2. Unauliza kwa nini hawakutoroka usiku? Jameni. Who would dare do anything during the day? At night.
Now,
there is tough security at this time in Kenya at night than during the day.
That is
so
very true.
They do it. Yeah, but it's unfortunate that nasikia mmoja alipatikana Kericho. So kwani mtu alitoka KMTC.
Alifika mbali.
Akatoka Nairobi, akapita Nairobi, akapita Limuru, akapita Kimende, akapita Naivasha, akapita Nakuru, akafika Kericho. Huko ndiko alishikiwa. Sasa hizo Nairobi tuko on lockdown. How? Who does he know? How does he know them?
That's a good question. We want to all know the people that you also know, by the way. We just want... But, all fun and jokes aside, this is something so serious. Why are they not holding themselves accountable, taking on that responsibility? Okay, you know what? We really do need to quarantine ourselves, not just for us, but also for those we love. You don't know who you came in contact with, even as you're being held in that quarantine center. For you to now, again, escape and then think it's fun and games, or maybe whatever it is that you got going on is a lot more important than your life and the life of your loved ones. I don't know, Cindy?
First of all, Amina, Ramadan Kareem.
Oh yes, so all our Muslim brothers and sisters. Ramadan started today. Some people are going to start tomorrow, but thanks
by the way, Cindy. Thanks for making me look like that. Thanks.
I'm sorry, Daddy Mato. It's not for 20 every day for me. I'm about to actually occupy our time well. Anyway, so the thing about quarantine, the second thing, I want to laud the government for the efforts they have made towards, curbing COVID-19 and its infection across the country. However, the thing with quarantine and what's happening with quarantine right now is it is being used as a tool to punish. And now we're going to talk about an incident later on today in the show, yes. But there are lots of people who are in quarantine who have not been tested. They are just there. And it's on their own dime. So you can imagine probably you are at a bash somewhere and you are told, okay, now you have to go into quarantine. You have to pay 2,000 shillings every day because you are at a risk of spreading COVID-19. It's been day 10. You have not been tested. You're in a dorm with other people, increasing probably your chances of getting COVID-19. Nobody is speaking to you. Nobody is giving you any forthcoming information. I am going to play the devil's advocate and say I understand why those guys.
Of course, we all sort of understand why. But sijui kwa ni example yako ilikuwa ati ulikuanga bash na wasi ufoi kwa bash yote sahi. Unafoi kwenye
I know.
Okay.
Quarantine is being used as punishment. It is not being used to flatten the curve.
Yeah.
So now it makes us wonder how many people are there who are not supposed to be there.
And I understand for you to leave, you talk to somebody on the side a little. So
yeah. This is Kenya. The way you started, this is America. This is Kenya. You know, with the right kind of lingo. If you speak the right kind of language,
actually, that is
true.
You're
understood everywhere.
And I think the story that you were referring to is the Eko Dydda one. So now police at Kilimani Station are on the spot after arresting and detaining gospel artist Eko Dydda for allegedly violating the dusk to dawn curfew. It is then that the artist was thrown into quarantine at Kenya Medical Training College in Mbagathi with 200 others. And then he's said to be tested for COVID-19, they said. So he was rearrested and there was a lot of drama. And of course, his partner was online furious. She was the one who was unwell. This is how the story went. She was not feeling very well. And, you know, he went to get her medication and he couldn't get it nearby. So he rushed to the CBD, which then made him take much longer. Then he was busted. First he had car issues, then he was busted. And, you know, then he had to go in and it was a lot. They gave a little something, of course. And then, you know, he just felt as if the process was not done well. There was no order, there was no system. He didn't understand why he was being thrown in. So was that the story you were referring to, Cindy?
That is definitely the story we're referring to. First of all, it's so convoluted. Let me just begin by saying I am the kind of Kenyan, if I leave a police cell and the cops call me, I do not volunteer myself. I do not say, oh, okay, I will see you tomorrow. You have to come and get me at my house.
Me too.
Because there's nowhere I am volunteering myself to be a good citizen. So his story is, you know, it's as I said, it's very convoluted and it goes to show what is happening on the ground.
Yeah.
He says, let me use alleged because, you know, it's not one person, it's his word against, you know, other people. Yeah. It is alleged that, you know, he was caught because he, after 7 p.m., he broke curfew and then he was asked to go back to the station. He went back to the station, he was rearrested and put under quarantine.
Okay.
And he's done very many videos talking about it. And again, his story aside, even just following social media, there's so many people who are tweeting, texting and saying that our police force, our people who are meant to utumishi kwa wote, to defend us, some, and I'm not talking about the entire police force, lest now people come into my house and take me away from my many children. There are some members of the police force who are honestly using this period as a way of extorting Kenyans. Usually extortion happens during the day. Now there's curfew. The people to extort are at home. There is no traffic. So now people are wondering, where are we going to get cash from? So people are extorting innocent Kenyans, which again is going against the fight of flattening the curve when it comes to ensuring that we have less cases.
Yes.
So I will throw it back to the government and say, when there are cases of people escaping, do not speak to the public like we are indisciplined children, like we have escaped boarding school to go vuta bangi in the local center.
Yeah.
Treat it as a situation that needs to be investigated.
Like,
so you
why
can see
are
the
they?
cause.
Yeah. Why did they see the need to sneak out? They not only risked, you know, I mean, the whole COVID situation, of course, but then they could have also just gotten themselves arrested, into more trouble. Why would they see the need to leave? That is, and we don't even know how long they've been there. And we've been seeing pictures, by the way. We don't know if those pictures are true or not, but they are showing a very dire state of the quarantine centers. All right, so now listen.
The quarantine situation.
Yes.
Exactly. So they need to address that.
All right, so Mato?
So first of all, the human nature is inherently evil, unfortunately. And we prove that as Kenyans every single day. That is why it's always taken, it has to take a bit of extra effort to actually be good and do good. Last week tuliuliza, where is the humanity? Utu uko wapi? The police are supposed to be taking care of us. Utumishi kwa wote. Yani, sawa wameifanya utumishi kwa wao wote. Wao wenyewe wote, wakiwa kivyao. Even the police spokesman said, by the way, you policemen never knew. You need to have sense. if somebody has told you they've come from picking medication and they even have receipts to prove it, you just take that.
I know.
Now you've gone to even expose them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've gone to expose them even further. But I will. You see,
sorry, Mato,
one thing about Eko Dydda, one thing about Eko Dydda that I really like is his humility. Because even as he's going through all this, the kind of videos that he's putting out, he's saying, okay, sawa yenyewe, nilikuwa kwa hii situation, vitu zimeenda hivi na hivi, so this is where I am, sisaidiki sana, but kuna wale watu kiasi wananisaidia na hivi ndivyo wananisaidia, shamba, mba. So at least, you know, and exhibit what we want to see from everybody else in Kenya. That we are standing together, that we can fight this when we are together. Otherwise, quite honestly, mimi ningekuwa nimezusha yangu yote, by the way. Nikiwa huko
hata
nimeshindwa.
Hata Mato wanaongea sahi.
Ingekuwa ngumu.
Ana sound too loud. Even just now, he's already upset. Are you in quarantine? What's happening? Should we check in with the missus? What's going on? All right, so listen, other than what Cindy, I want to hear what you have to say at home. So send in your 2 cents. The hashtag is TTTT at the trend.